Good morning, church, and welcome to today's Children's Moment, a time when all children of God are welcome to join me for a few minutes. So hopefully we can think a little bit more about God's love for us and how we can share that love with others this week. As you can tell, I'm a little out of breath because I've been walking with this really heavy backpack. Do you want to see what's inside? I've got a calculus book in that backpack. I don't know why I have this calculus book. I didn't even take calculus in college. My son brought this home from college, and he didn't even take calc. And I asked him, why do you have a calculus book? And then he told me how his roommate left it behind, and so he brought it home. It's really heavy. But you know what? Just holding that calculus book made me think about how hard math was for me when I was in school and how much I would worry when I was studying for math tests and all the problems I would try to do to make sure I was prepared for my math tests. I worried a lot about math when I was in school. Let's see, what else do I have in my backpack? It's a 2-pound jar of peanut butter because I guess you never know when you're going to want some peanut butter when you're out hiking around. But this too kind of reminded me of when I was at the grocery store last week, and I was kind of worried because there was hardly any peanut butter left on the shelves, and there was hardly any meat, and it made me start worrying, but that was kind of silly because I still had a huge grocery cart of food to bring home for me and my family. But I like peanut butter. What else? Okay. In that backpack is Cutlip and Center's Effective Public Relations. And as you can see, it's a very worn out book. I use this all the time at work because in my job in public relations, this stuff is good in here and it helps me with my job. And sometimes in my job, I worry a lot because I have to try to communicate a lot of issues. And especially these days, there's a lot of communication to share with people on the pandemic and how we're going to be closing down school and how we'll be opening up school in the fall. But Effective Public Relations is a great book to have. Okay, what else? Oh, this book, I don't know if you can see, it is David Gets in Trouble by David Shannon. And this was one of my kids' favorite books when they were little. And it was about this naughty little boy, David. And you know what? It kind of makes me think about how I used to worry a lot about my boys when they were little. And about one of them who liked to get into trouble a lot. And honestly, I still worry a little bit about them, even though they're grown up. So, this backpack, walking with it really hurt my back. There was a lot of weight to carry around. I know I'm going to be tired later. And it took a lot of energy to walk up and down these hills here with that backpack with stuff I didn't even really need to be carrying around. And in a few minutes, we're going to hear about a passage from the first letter of Peter that we've been going through all during Eastertide. And in this passage, Peter talks about how we need to give our worries to God. and how we need to be humble before God. And it made me start thinking about how when we worry, we're kind of acting prideful because we're thinking we can solve all the problems ourselves. When we're humble with God, He wants us to give our worries to Him because He is there to help us. And as Peter talks about in his passage, he says that when we're humble before God, God will lift us up. And that is absolutely true if I'm thinking about why do I carry all this worry with me when I can just admit that I can't solve all of it and give it to God, and God will help me through it. So this week, I want you to leave that heavy backpack down and try to think about all the things that are weighing you down with worry, and just try little by little, maybe, to give it to God and let God help you solve those problems, because God will lift you up as you move forward and enjoy life a little bit more so you can appreciate God's love and share that with others. Have a great week, everyone.